Hello everybody, this is Maria Hopwood from Sydney, Australia. I'd just like to say a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking the time to take a look at what we've got to offer, which is absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do today, we're going to give you a brief synopsis about ASEA. We're going to give you some testimonials. One of them is very powerful. And then I'm going to introduce Wengyew, and he will take the presentation a little bit further. So what I'm going to talk to you about is the most significant health science breakthrough of our time. But before we go any further, there are two things I'd like to say. Number one, ASEA products are not intended to treat, diagnose, or heal any medical condition. And also that ASEA redox signaling molecules are not a food, a vitamins, a mineral, an antioxidant, an exotic use, alkaline water, essential oil, CBD, energy drink, or steroid, or anything else out in the market, because ASEA goes beyond nutrition and ingredients. And the reason for that is because ASEA Redox can do things that no other products can do, because it contains things that no other products can contain. So what's in the ASEA products? Well, we have stabilized redox signaling molecules outside the body in perfect balance, exactly the same way they are found and created in our cells from salt and water. To actually express this a little bit better, I've got to tell you, and we all know, that we are all cells, trillions of them, but not all cells are healthy. And our body is constantly orchestrating the protection, the repair, and the destruction and replacements of cells. That's how we stay healthy. But we didn't know that was the case. But in 1998, 3 Italian scientists discovered the very first redox signaling molecules in the cardiovascular system. So the reason why this is so important is because as we age, the level of redox signaling molecules decline, and we start to feel the effects of aging. Unfortunately, and this is the sad thing, unfortunately, we don't have an unlimited supply of these molecules, and they steadily decline 10% every 10 years after puberty. Why? Because we live in a toxic environment. Our lives are stressful. We've got disease, and our lifestyles today actually contribute to them decline even faster. Fortunately for you and I, ASEA, the company, has had a breakthrough. And after extensive testing and research, millions and millions of dollars, a team of scientists achieved the impossible. They stabilized the signaling molecules in perfect balance, exactly the same way they're found in your cells outside the body for yours and my consumption. So what do? Well, they actually tells the cells what to do. They turn on genes. Why is this important? I go back one. Because they actually turn the genes that and express your genetics at all levels. They actually activate your natural immune system. They activate your vascular system, all right? And it actually increases the elasticity inside your arterial walls. It actually helps with the digestive enzyme. It modulates your hormones, which is very, very important. And it actually helps with the reduction of inflammation, which can be a cause of many issues. It's also 100% non-toxic. Now, this particular doctor, who's the fellow responsible for actually doing all this research, does say that these results are unique and exciting. And ASEA Redox is a signaling supplement, and the pathways express a signaling gene. This is Dr. Kenneth Ward. And this is important because these redox signaling molecules actually regulate all our systems in our body, every single one. Without them, we age very, very quickly, which is actually happening right now. ASEA also holds an enormous opportunity in 3 major areas of industries: health and wellness, beauty and anti-aging, athletics, and sports performance. So what I'm going to do now is just show you some pictures as to how this actually works, just to further express all this. Health and wellness. This lady consumed both products, and it only took her like a couple of weeks, a week and a bit, to actually get this result. Before I go any further, I also must say that we are all different, and the result will vary because we are all essentially made out of the same components, but we react differently. This is my friend Julie Watts, and Julie has had major issues since she was about 16. And now this is Julie. That photo down the bottom was taken in December 2019. For you, you can actually read all the issues that she had, and thank goodness now she's a healthier human being, also expressing the word. So now what I want to do is introduce you, as I said to you that I would in the beginning. He unfortunately cannot be with us today. However, he's actually sent me his video, and this is it. So enjoy.
Where I used to play rugby league, and I did judo, gymnastics, aerobics, and surf. But I also did this thing called bodybuilding. This was me at the age of 24, going for the state titles in New South Wales. And fast forwarding to the age 44, 20 years later, I look like this. I didn't know at this point that I was in serious trouble with my health. As much as I looked like this and I felt good, I found a little lump underneath my left rib. And 6 months later, in May 2011, I got some really bad news. And this is a photo of me with no hair from the top of my head to my toes, where I spent 2.5 years in a second home in a hospital here in Sydney. What I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. This is a really fake smile. I wasn't feeling well at all in this photo. And next to me is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, who played for the Parramatta Eels, Cronulla Sharks. So Johnny was 21. He went through what I'd already been through with all these hospital visits. He had the good one, I had the bad one. He got through it to this point, but within 2 years it came back. Johnny ended up in hospital again with all those hospital visits, and we lost him at the age of 23 years old. After I went through 2.5 years of what I went through in this hospital in Sydney, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. I was in shock. I called them a few names. I thought I was going to be okay after what they did to me all that time, but that wasn't going to be the case. So after putting my health in their hands and then giving me that news, I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I did some research, and then all that research led to an alkaline diet to empower my body for my body to head in the direction that I needed it to. So red meat, chicken, alcohol, and all these things were out the door. I was very strict on this alkaline diet. And I also spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements to also feed my cells, to feed my body the right things to move my health forward. Unfortunately, all these products that I spent a lot of money on from companies around the world, like Zango's Mangosteen and Isagenix Product B, Cellgevity from LifeVantage, and Protandem, and Kangen Water, and all these things I spent a lot of money on, money that I didn't have at the time, what I'd been through, unfortunately didn't do anything. So a direct result of 2 years on this diet and all these products, this is where I ended up. So my skin's an indication of what was still going on in the inside, and my blood works were still the same. They were still actually heading in the wrong direction. I looked like this. I actually looked 10 to 20 years older than what I did before I started everything in that hospital. So things weren't good. This is October 2014, when a friend of mine, Bart Cotter, called me from America, and all he said to me was, "I think I've found something that could help." So within a week, I flew across to the United States, to a place I've never heard of, Salt Lake City. Took a friend of mine, Malcolm Sword, Mel. He'd been fighting skin challenges and issues for 40 years, spent over $100,000 on his skin issues. He came with us to America to have a look at this breakthrough for our health. And we ended up in the boardroom of this company called ASEA, and ASEA is a cellular health company. These bottles were actually sitting on the table when the atomic and medical physicist, Dr. Gary Samuelson, was talking about the breakthrough in the science and what this was. 100% non-toxic, and it could have health benefits. And the great thing was it was free, so we were gorging it down. I went through about half a bottle while sitting there, and the meeting wrapped up, the presentation finished. We went back to the hotel room. We were going to have showers and get ready to go to dinner with the owners of the company, Tyler Norton, Bertus Norton, and also Dr. Gary Samuelson, and all the executives of the company. And I took off my shirt to have a shower, and I'm covered in these little tiny red spots all over my chest, my back, and my shoulders. And at that stage, I didn't realize at the time, but what I was going through was what I was trying to achieve in 2 years prior to this photo, and that was to detox my body, to get rid of anything in there that wasn't supposed to be in there, to move my health forward. And that was the first win. I'd consider that a first win on this product. I tested this stuff the next day, and I woke up the next morning, I went to breakfast. Now, for 20 years, I've had a caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over with issues and uncomfortable all day. And the next morning, I had 6 coffees, and I went through the whole day, and there was nothing to remind me of what I endured for 20 years. So this is only 12 hours later. So this is my second win in a very short period of time. The day after that, long story short, I had so much lung damage from what I experienced in that hospital. I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time, walking upstairs, walking up hills. It was a real effort for me. You can tell I don't have that problem anymore because within 48 hours, my lungs were functioning perfectly. And that were my first 3 major wins on this product within a 48-hour period. I went back to Australia. Did you think I kept drinking this product? Of course I did. Knew what it did for me, and I was hoping, that was going to keep improving my health. And basically, after 8 months, because I came from a situation where I was very successful in traditional business, but unfortunately, with what I went through, we lost everything financially. So, after 8 months of consuming the product, only a bottle a week, knowing I needed a lot more, I could finally afford to take enough product or more product, the product that I needed to help my body to heal. And I went up to at least half a bottle a day in June 2015. So that was 8 months after I started. By December 2015, if you guys can recall what date this is October 2014. So just over a year later in December 2015, the doctors gave me some very good news. And this is a photo of me on the day. They told me that 2 major issues, not 1, but 2 major issues that I had that they had no answers for, they couldn't find any sign of. And I still get 6 monthly checkups. And yesterday, my bloods were totally pristine, as they had been since 2015. So in this photo, by this stage, I'd also gone through a lot of other changes. I had multiple injuries from playing sports from 30 to 40 years prior to this photo. Injuries that were getting worse every year. I had a neck problem, I had a shoulder problem, I had a hand problem, I had hip problems, pelvic problems, back problems, major issues that were getting worse and worse every year that I didn't have at this stage in this photo because my whole body had been rebuilt in 2015, including pollen problems and sneezing and running nose and sniffing things up my nose in the morning from the pharmacy that wasn't doing me any good, that I used for 20 years, that I didn't have to use by the time I took this photo. The next photo, that's my journey back to health. The next photo is, I suppose, something that I didn't expect. So I had a lot of freckles. You can see it in this photo here. But mind you, this is after a year. I was in a lot worse situation. This was my skin prior. And the next photo just shows how I've gone from this photo to 2 years later, and everything's just being cleaned up and cleared up from what this technology can do for the body, for the skin, for everything. So I'm just going to step back and just show you that again, from those hospital visits to obviously 2 years on that alkaline diet and spending a fortune on these nutritional supplements. And obviously after 2.5 years of hospital visits, this was the result. And then to just over 12 months on this product, and then 2 years later, and as you can see, what I look like now, nearly a year after that again.
In beauty and aging, the products, as just Daniel mentioned, has got an enormous effect. Whatever's happening on the outside is an absolute indication of what happens on the inside. So this is me in 2015. I was really fit. I thought I looked really good, but you can see if you look closely, I got a lot of inflammation around my face. This is me in 2019, so last year. This is January. You know, I do a lot of weight, I do a lot of crazy things because I just like doing it, and I can. My sleep is just fantastic. I've lost heaps of weight. I've got a lot of energy, vitality. My skin is terrific. Fantastic. This young lady here, we met her in January. That's correct, Wengyew? Yep. So she started trying the product, and within 30 days, these are her results. It's very clear. She had inflammation. Her skin had a lot of lesions on it as well, but that's what's happened. So is she a happy girl? You bet. It's also, we also use these products through all the athletics and sports performance for people of all ages. Why? Because it increases your performance, increases your endurance, your strength, your recovery, and it gets rid of that fog and gives you mental stamina. We have a lot of athletes, international athletes at Olympic level also using the products, and the reason for this is because it's non-toxic and 100% native to the body. So when they get tested, there are no issues. There are no, they are totally compliant because the products actually belongs in the body. The products are validated by science. It's 10 to 15 years ahead of its times. It's a brand new category of science. It's heavily patented. We have Nobel Prize research from 1998 and since then. It's body native and again, zero toxic and extremely powerful. What they found in 28 days, the Renew 28, actually delivers an enormous amount of benefits to the skin. And this is the exciting bits. It actually reduces your wrinkle death by 23%. It reduces the blotches, you know, that redness that we have on the skin sometimes, by 21%. It increases the smoothness by 23%. It increases the texture by 22%, the elasticity, so it's not saggy, by 20%. It increases the hydration of the skin, makes it look nice and dewy, by 11%. And the most important of all of them is that increases the blood circulation to the skin after 15 minutes of application by 50%. That is really, really exciting. And again, it's safe for all ages. It's natural. It's not natural. Natural is an apple because it grows outside the skin in the body. This is native. It's in our body and 100% non-toxic. There are more than 50 ways to use Renew, but here's just a few. It diminishes the appearance of cellulite. We all know about that. It reduces muscle discomfort. It relieves rashes. It soothes the skin after shaving. Improves elasticity. Improves skin texture. So it is indeed a fabulous product, and it actually provides great cellular health to your skin. So what does ASEA Redox, the drink, do? Well, let's see. It improves your immune system, your inflammatory response, your cardiovascular health, your gut health, and most importantly for us ladies, it actually restores the hormonal balance. It supports your cellular communication. It helps with your free radical damage. Now, this is very on point right now. It actually kills 100% of the time in 30 seconds all bacteria and viruses that have been tested, which is over 30 strains. It's zero toxicity, builds your antioxidant efficiency between 500 to 800% in just 72 hours, improves athletic performance. You can read that yourself there, completely native, and is totally supported by research and clinical trials. And we have thousands of testimonials worldwide. So who can use the products? Well, babies and children, pregnant women, men and women like yourself, active people and athletes, elderly people, people with physical discomfort, and animals. What we're actually doing here, we're inviting you to consider bringing this product to market. We have a very strong compensation plan. Right now, it's the right moment in the market. It's post-testing, pre-momentum. We have a freedom to develop this in our own way, to give it our own flavor. We have transparency of results, and the product is extremely simple. It's a breakthrough science, it's zero competition. Nobody else has got this product, and it's heavy patented, so it's very well protected. There's no risk, and it's very low entry, no investment needed. And of course, we're not looking for the minority, we're looking for everybody, because everybody needs this product. At this particular point, now I'm going to get off the stage and I'd like to share with Wengyew. Wengyew is a business entrepreneur. He resides in Malaysia. He's also an international speaker. He's a digital redox expert. So everything I know about digital, I've learned from Wengyew, which is thank goodness. He's a platinum ASEA at ASEA, platinum executive, and works in the field of health, wellness, beauty, and fitness. So Wengyew, all yours.
Okay, thank you, Maria. I come into this business just a couple of months ago, and I was a digital guy. So I've been doing digital transformation for companies, large companies, for a long time. So what I'm going to take for you now is the opportunity to create an increment in a tremendous momentum to transform the best opportunity, the best product in the world, and to engage from the 1% and to reach out to the world in a different hyper-drive way. A hybrid capabilities between products, compensation plan, and the go-to-market structure, and we can conquer the world. Okay, so just now when Maria was saying that we had already almost 35 countries and continuing to increase our country presence, and majority actually focuses in Asia. So that is a good and tremendous momentum that we can have in Asia. So the next couple of years, we're going to address another 400 to 500 million new population. But currently, you can have your distribution channels right at your fingertip from Asia. We can go to Europe and it can go to Americas right from the palm of your hand. Okay, so that is enabled. But the question is how we can take this power from your hand and reach out to the masses through digital. And that is what I'm going to explain to you. So before we go on, I just want to show you the income disclosure statement. This is public and it's made available in the internet. So of course, there's a variance. And if you look at the average, the rank advancement almost double every single rank that you go through. So as you build your business through the ranks, your why, the question is why you will ask when you increase the rank and it doubles up. And how do you increase the rank as fast as you can is because we have the power of leverage. In the past, when we do our work, we always sell to companies our time, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. And most of the time, we overproduce and underpay. So what we are going to do here with the network marketing strategies and the digital enablement is to not just take leverage on the people-to-people distribution, but also to take the effect of the digital capabilities and hyperdrive the P2P connectivity. I started this from hobby perspective, okay? And I'm actually a platinum member after about 3 months. So I'll leave you there to have a look. I'm a platinum and I did it month 1. I was Director 700, just playing around, not really serious because I was just doing it for myself, my health. And then after Christmas, over January, during that time, Malaysia was Chinese New Year. So we meet friends and family and friends and just tell them what, I'm good and why I became better in terms of health-wise. And the business just grow and grow. And that is where I am now. So this is what I am talking about. You can actually fit whatever you want into your schedule. Naturally, I was a digital transformation business. Then, given the understanding of the product, I tried it, for myself, right? I bought a big pack for me and my wife. And I think within a day, I realized the potential. And then I began to understand the power of the compensation plan. And then I said, okay, why don't I help a few friends, right? Coincidentally, I got a few friends that are really sick, wanting to try it. And within a couple of weeks, he also, through friends, get a few more. And by Christmas, actually, I've got a group of friends that not just gets better, well, but also begin to see that, hey, we got a lot of income that can actually support what we are eating, what we are taking. So you can help your friends, your family, and earn some income to cover yourself, for example, the cost of the product. So that's when a few of us realized that we can make it a serious business. And now I am taking my 25 years of experience that I always teach large enterprise, and I'm building a structure, a digital structure, into our gig economy where we ourselves, individuals, can take these digital capabilities and launch it to the space. So depends on your aspirations. You can be either one of them, right? So I leave it for you to think about it for now. So I'm going to go in to explain to you how I do the digital enablement. Okay. So, in sales and in our normal conversation, we always will want to convince one another, oh, this product is good, that experience is good, you should buy this car rather than that car. We have daily conversation without realizing that we are trying to influence the other person. But in doing so, we just need to take it out and put it into a thought process and enable it in the digital way. So are 4 different areas that you need to think through the life cycle. Preparation, in getting ready before we start. Engagement is the whole 3 parts of it, where we first start to go and search, like how we find new potential in the physical world, and we try to understand their need, and of course to align the interests. Then throughout this continuous process, we will then promote and engage with them and follow up and close. So this is the process of marketing and sales, no different from whether you're doing it for yourself, trying to close and influence your wife and your husband, to buy something or to go into a trip. You still have to do all these things, right? So I'm going to go into a brief this to let you understand what are the 4 different steps. Yeah. So step 1. So position your presence in the digital space. Very simple. Any company you go and see, you will have a website. So you need to be able to make this website for yourself, because we are now, let's consider ourselves solopreneur, right? One single person trying to do this. And then you want to do some kind of delivery of messages. Now we have YouTube. 15 years ago, we don't have that. Now we have YouTube. Then you want to have this YouTube being positioned on your own channel, for example. And of course, to reach out, we're going to use social media channel to reach out to the different prospects. So these are the 3 areas that you need to get ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to help you to get ready. All you need to do is to be able to commit, to say, yes, I want to do it. Tell me how, teach me how, and we'll help you to prepare this position. So once you get this position, then you're ready to bring your presence and to engage with the customer, right? Or we engage your potential. It may be a user, it may be another business partner, depends on what it is their aspiration. So this aspiration is where you need to look into through the digital lens for the suitable prospect. The prospect may differ dependent on how they talk in their social media. So there are different groups that has different aspirations, and you need to find those suitable prospects. So once you find and you try and narrow down to what they want to do, right? For example, you have a group of bikers. So you're going to engage and talk to them and to say, hey, there'll be something that could be improving the ability for us to to pursue even further. And that's how we start the engagement and the interest and narrow down so that finally we can invite them to a Zoom call. Right? So once you do that, obviously it's very simple. You try and narrow down, close, and obviously not everybody can want to close. Some of them say they don't have time, different reasons, and you find a way to continue the opening the door and to keep in view those conversations, keep it warm, and maybe we revisit that in the future. So there's a cycle, there's a step on how you're going to engage. Now with that, we need some digital tools, and we have prepared different digital tools as well as the help, very much like setting up a company, and we can help you to propel to the whole world at the end of your fingertips. So that is what we are offering you from a digital perspective on top of the already powerful technology. You know, the only category in the world, very advanced. We have a very good hybrid compensation plan fabric that can scale globally. It's already doing it globally. And finally, we complement it with the digital go-to-market. I call it our group, which is a digital enable group within ASEA, and it's very special. So we help you to prepare the foundation, which is what I'm talking about. We teach you and help you the positioning, the tactics, the step-by-step, and work hand in hand with you and bring the engagement to a success. And together we solve, right? So no dream is too big. No challenge is too great. Nothing beyond what we want for our future is beyond our reach. We just need to go and get it. Every single person will have the opportunity to realize its full potential. Together we solve, together we build our wealth, together we build our dreams. And you know, ASEA is also having a very good ethos, and what we are doing is very much aligned, and that's why I buy into this partnership with ASEA, is to better people's life and to be the force for good in the world. So I now hand over to Maria to continue.
Well, thank you very much, Wengyew. That was just absolutely beautiful, and it's so good. Yeah, this is beautiful. It sort of aligns so much with what Berto's Norton also said. You know, we're all aligning with him as well. You know, we are at the start of something amazing, big, with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin to influence the future. We can change the world. Now, for more information, please contact the person that invited you along. And just to finalize this, I'd like to remind you that ASEA products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or medical condition. Thank you.